open news if we the four corners of Ghana there na ebusia for channel way so ena wonsa ebeka ewo aha eye Ghanatube so ensem ekobe nyina no aha na ni nyina no ubenya edi efina se ne maji akonya matena sisei no na chese ensem ahodo ekobe nyina no eno ena mede ebo ebusia for ensem pa so menum enkwan no enja fufu ne bewa kotie ensem ekoso ewo man Ghana me ba na matwa so edi amam.
Well, news just coming in. Former Secretary of the International Committee Against Illegal Mining, Charles Bissue, has been granted a 200,000 Ghana cedi court bail with two sureties, one to be justified. The accused person has also been ordered to submit his passport to the court registrar and report to the office of the special prosecutor once every month. His accomplice, Thomas Owusu, has also been granted same bail conditions. Mr. Bissue is accused of receiving bribes and accepting gifts as a public officer to bypass legal requirements for mining license approvals. Let's get some details from our legal affairs correspondent Latif Idris, who joins us on the line. Latif, give us the updates of what's happening in the court.
Yeah, Mommy, you are absolutely right with that submission right there. It just happened, just been delivered there at the High Court. And what you left out is the fact that Charles Bissue has to seek the express permission from the court before embarking on any foreign travels. So as it stands, Charles Bissue is unable to move out of jurisdiction without the express permission of this criminal court that has just granted him that bail. What is left now, if indeed Charles Bissue is to let go on this bail condition, is for him to meet the bail condition. 200,000 Ghana cedis, two sureties, one to be justified, landed property within the national capital of Accra. Now, that is the process that is yet to commence for the verification, identification first, then verification of the value of the said landed property. If he's able to meet all these conditions, then Charles Bissue would be on bail. But if he's unable to meet those conditions, it means he will stay in custody. As it stands now, Charles Bissue will be taken back to OSP as they go through the processes to verify the landed property, to verify if indeed he's able to meet the bail conditions, to verify if indeed the two sureties are available, to verify if one of them, the one that is supposed to be justified, is justified. Then, of course, he will be able to enjoy that bail condition that has been granted by the court. His lawyers made the argument that Charles Bissue is bailed to travel within the nearest possible future, and so wanted the judge to amend that bail condition, which says that he has to seek the express permission from the court before embarking on any foreign travel. But the judge insisted that she's already made her ruling and nothing would change that. And so now the case is adjourned to 29th of this month. Then they come back for case management to take place, Mami.
But well, Latif, were there any reactions from Charles Bissue himself or his lawyers to this ruling?
Yeah, so Charles Bissue is still in the courtroom. Like I said, some processes have to be done. Once that is done, he'll be brought downstairs, and then we will see if we will get some reactions from him before he's taken to the office of the special prosecutor. But as of now, we don't have any reaction. But I can tell you that when he exited the witness box, he was indifferent about what had happened. Same applies to Thomas Owusu, the accomplice in this particular case. They were all indifferent about the ruling of her lady, the trial judge, and they sat close by me. I was sandwiched in between the two of them at the back of the courtroom, and so we don't have any reaction from them officially. But once they get downstairs, as always, we will try and get a few words from them before they are taken back to the office of the special prosecutor as they make frantic efforts to meet this bail condition and then enjoy their liberties, at least for this period, when the case itself travels to, when we get to the meat of the matter proper, Mami.
Well, we also understand that this case about the CJ is in court today. Has there been any updates on that?
So I had to actually rush from the Supreme Court to the High Court to catch up with this particular case.
Right.
After this, I'm going back to the Supreme Court to make sure that we don't miss out on any high-profile case happening in the country today.
Right.
There was also the narcotic bust, if you recall. The NAPOC arrested some individuals at the Aviance cargo station.
Right.
That case was back in court today. The accused persons, the case has been adjourned actually to tomorrow, 10 a.m. For that particular case to be recalled and hearing to take place. So these are the high-profile cases happening today, and we have to dash back to the Supreme Court to make sure we don't miss out on that, Mami.
Thank you so much, Latif. Let me let you go and get updates on those cases for us. And that's Latif Idrisu, our legal affairs correspondent. Minority Leader Alexander Fenyumakin has formally petitioned the Inspector General of Police to investigate an incident between himself and a uniformed police officer during Monday's Save the Judiciary demonstration. This is after the police had formally requested the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to release Mr. Fenyumakin to assist in investigations following the allegations that he assaulted the officer. We'll share a statement from Mr. Fenyumakin and the police shortly, but first a recap of the demonstration by Michael Ashali.
It's a bit chaotic. Oh, police, they're trying you to hang on the fine. Where are you to be today?
The atmosphere is charged outside the Supreme Court complex as protesters led by the NPP and allied political parties demand an immediate halt to the process of removing Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo. The protesters submitted petitions to the Judiciary, Parliament and the Presidency, warning of more actions if their demands are not met. This protest follows a determination that 3 separate petitions submitted to the presidency establish a prima facie case for the Chief Justice removal. But the NPP is pushing back hard.
We cannot allow John Mahama to politicize our democracy. And they should know that whoever is elected as the president will go with their CJ. And whoever is elected, they will come with their CJ and go with their CJ.
After minutes of chaos and a struggle to squeeze through the single entrance, the protesters made their first stop at the judiciary where they submitted their petition. Minority Leader Alexander Fenyumakin urged the judiciary to consider a nationwide sit-down strike.
Let your conscience prick you so that you would also be the next to protest and do a sit-down strike, because it has happened before when Georgina Wood came and attacked. Chusak rose to her defense and that stopped that Amos government.
The protest then moved to Parliament, where the group was received by the Clerk of Parliament.
It is tyranny cloaked in the robes of democracy. His every gesture speaks to a sinister agenda to break the constitution and amend it and prolong his grip on power, abetted by judiciary he is desperate to capture. In other words, the president is looking forward to using the judiciary for a third term.
Finally, the protesters made their way to the Jubilee House, facing resistance in accessing the inner perimeter. Fenyumakin expressed hope that the presidency would give their petition the serious attention it deserves.
We believe that what is happening is not good for us. This issue of you do me, I do you. There must be an end to retaliatory politics. We hope that it shall receive the needed support for the Chief Justice to go back to her office and do her work.
But these remarks drew a sharp response from Deputy Chief of Staff Stan Dogbe.
That in itself is a very strong message about the democracy that President Mahama wants to instill in our dear country. If it were the case like this over the past 8 years, I'm sure that the retaliatory politics that you talk about wouldn't have been the case. You referencing retaliatory politics is an admission.
Well, the police has released a statement urging the Speaker of Parliament to, in actual fact, release Mr. Fenyumakin for the investigations to continue. And the police says that it has reviewed several video footages on an alleged assault on a police officer by Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin during the just-ended demonstration. Following the review, the service has written to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament requesting the release of Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin to assist ongoing investigation into the alleged incident. The officer in question will also be assisting the investigation. And that's the statement from the police. Well, Mr. Afenyomarkin has also petitioned the Inspector General of Police to thoroughly investigate the matter. And his statement reads, "I hereby formally petition your office to investigate and take appropriate disciplinary action against Constable Forcing, a tall, fair and heavily built officer who was stationed at the entrance of Parliament House to provide security during today's or yesterday's Save the Judiciary demonstration." It says Constable Forcing assaulted me at the entrance of Parliament House during the demonstration to address this incident and to correct misleading narratives circulating in the public domain. I have issued a public statement detailing the events as they occurred. I rely on the said statement, which is hereby attached, for your information and further action, counting on your usual cooperation. And that's the statement from Afenyomarkin Minority Leader to the Inspector General of Police. Well, we'll be getting more of this in other stories.
We wait to me comment or comment section. Na meje where I can ede amount make I will say when you subscribe here my channel we able to subscribe na hitting notification bell no send be ansem no 72 na wenya no intem pa so mo amodofo snowy and am tena say ensem no ebrem sisi ade makram.